Hi, and welcome back to my channel, Lori J Journals. I am continuing my journey of what I've now started to call my colorful garden junk journal, inspired by the method I saw Barbara use on 49 Dragonflies. So if you've been watching, and the playlist is below if you need to get caught up, I constructed this journal cover using a deconstructed children's reading book and affixed that to fabric in the same way that Barbara did. And I now have my almost completed journal. So the structure is completed. I am going to do a little bit more work on this cover, but I'm going to wait until the end. But I think we are good to go. I went through some fabric snafus, and if you watched the previous videos, you saw how I worked through that. I did mention on the last episode that I was going to go back to the book block so that I could share the date of this book, and I did. And so this was the book. It was called Success in Spelling. And if you look here, the copyright was 1955. So this book is from 1955, hence the, weathering and the faded and kind of how beat up it was, which made it perfect for this project. And I'm going to take another note out of Barbara's video and use these pages as a guide for size as I set the cover apart, or aside rather, because what I'm going to do today is I'm going to work on selecting items for my signatures rather. I do believe that I'm going to try for 2 signatures. So I think I'm going to do 2 signatures of four sets. And I'll show you what I mean by that. Again, following Barbara's method, I've collected a whole bunch of ephemera that I have. I also know that I may use some of the pages out of the Stamperia paper I keep talking about. So these, I haven't decided yet whether I'm actually going to make a page or just use this for the embellishments and the inserts. But what I am going to do is start pairing up some items. And one of the tips that Barbara gave in her video is to make sure that the papers are pretty substantial, like what you're using for your signatures. You want them to be sturdy because I'm going to build on them. So the first thing I thought that would be perfect are these giant playing cards that were given to me in an ephemera bundle. And if you look, just to show you how big they really are, these are the book pages and these are the cards. So I'm definitely going to use this as one. When you build the signature, the 2 items don't need to be the exact same size. In this case, I'm going to pair these because I have them, but they need to be pretty close so that they stabilize together. So this is going to be one of my signatures. I had this also came to me in a bundle at some point, and I think it had recipe cards in it, but it's an envelope. And it's pretty sturdy. It's in pretty good condition. I'm not sure about the holes, but there is going to be fabric tabs to attach the signature pages. So I think I'm going to use this. I want to find something that is similar in size. Doesn't have to be the same, maybe. So this is a punch card. I think an old grocery punch card. Or, no, I'm not really sure what this is actually. Win a pint of 4 roses. Okay. It's some sort of game board. But I think I might like these 2 items together. This was a greeting card. It came with a, it had like an embroidered piece in the middle. It was, I believe, an Easter card. I took the insert out and thought this might make a good, but I also have. What I don't want is for all my signatures to be exactly the same. I'm trying to create interest throughout. So I'm going to set these aside for a minute. So I have the playing cards. I think I might also go with, let's see, this bingo card I like because it's pretty sturdy. Yeah, maybe I'll pair it with this flashcard. P is for pig. Goes with the spelling book, doesn't it? It's a good theme I have going here. I think I might pair those together. Not all of this is vintage, and I'm okay with that. That wasn't my. Oh, maybe I'll pair. Well, no. I wasn't going for strictly vintage look. I like the mix. I'm really just looking for anything that I have that goes well. And so one of the things I have is this great Tim Holtz file folder, and I might just split that in half and make that a signature, or I can pair it with something else like this. So that's 3. I think I might put these 2 together. 4. And I have this piece of a, it's an older, it's a music sheet book. And I can either fold this in half and make it its own and pair it with something else, or I can split it. But I think I might like to pair it with something else. So, let me see. I really wanted to use this. I thought this was really cool, but I think it's too tall for the, let me get my guide pages. Yeah, it's too tall. And well, I don't mind some things sticking out, and I don't want to cut it. I think I'll leave that out for now. So here's a Bunko scorecard. Lots of game cards in my ephemera bundles. I do have this fabric. Now I'm thinking these 2 might go nicely together. Yeah, I think I'll do that. Back up a little bit. So I have the 2 playing cards. I have those. Maybe these. That's 3. I have some of this really thick kind of ledger. It's not a ledger paper. What does it say? It is a family group record. So it's a data record of some sort. And it's a pretty good thick paper. And I think it might make, let's see. The other thing, one of the things that Barbara does too is she creates 2 tags and flips one so that they're facing the opposite direction and makes a signature like that. I think that's kind of cool. Maybe I'll go in that direction. But I think I'm going to put these together. So that's a 4th. I really want to use this because it's nice and sturdy. It's a board. Let me see what I can find that might go with that. I could use this envelope. I think that's good. This is a really good, it was a Happy Mail envelope. And I can just cut the top off like that. And it could actually create a pocket, or I could sew it and seal it. I think I'll use those together. I like this, but it's not all that sturdy. But it does have that plastic coating on it, that glossy, and that might keep it strong. Or I could always double these up if I feel like I need to. But I do want something, a smaller size to create interest. So I think I will pair those. So let's see how many I have now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Keep going. I do have this interesting card. Look at the froggies. It's all about parks are more necessary for a healthy development. It's so funny how so many of these things are becoming that I'm digging up are children related, and I'm using this children's book. This is copyrighted. Really hard to see. Hang on, let's get a magnifier. Copyrighted 1899. Clearly this photo is not from 1899, but maybe this is. I'm going to hold on to this. I don't think I want to create or paint over anything like that or cover it. That might be something I want to hold on to for a later time. All right, I think I'm going to go back to maybe these cards. And I think these are a little too tall for my journal. No, actually, let's see, look. They're right about the same size. I think I will use a couple of them. Oh, and I like that these are 2 different sizes. But I could also go with that kind of flipped asymmetric look that Barbara was using with the tags. This cut off here and here. All right, let's see where we are. Okay, so let's see. We have these cards, that's 1. These cards, 2. This board and envelope, that's 3. This 2 cards, that's 4, 5. These 2 envelopes, 6. I'm going to go with these 2, 7, and the greeting cards, 8. And that gives me 8 sets, 2 signatures at 4 each. All right, so I mentioned 100 times that I am following Barbara at 49 Dragonflies through all of this. And recently, actually, I don't even think she's finished with it. She's been doing a series for a memory book she's making for, I believe it's her brother's birthday. And she's referencing back to her grungy vintage junk journal that I placed in my initial description box, right, as inspiration. The one that she's working on now, of course, she's done this before, so she's learned along the way. The first time she sewed her signatures, her items together and then embellished the pages a little with, I don't want to say embellished. She inked them with coffee dye and stuff like that. The first time she did it after she sewed them together. I believe this recent time she worked on the pages before she sewed them together. And that's what I'm going to do. I am going to end this very brief episode of selecting my pages, and I am going to prepare to work on the pages a little bit with some coffee dye, which I think will make a nice, I might use tea, or quite frankly, I might just use a little bit of brown distress ink, but I'm going for that same kind of stained look. For me, it's not coffee. I'm thinking about the garden, and I think it might give a little bit of a, dirty, like jumping in the puddles kind of look, or working on my garden kind of look. So I'm going to do that. And I'm also going to use a little bit of light ink to blend into the colors that I have going on here. So remember, this is my artwork, my color palette inspiration. So I think I will take some of, for example, I might tint some water with this. Look at how perfectly this liquid ink, turquoise ink, goes with this color scheme. I might just tint some water and spray these with some color, mix it up a little. Maybe also that iridescent pink that I used on the cover, just to bring in all of it. So I think a little bit of here's what I'm thinking out loud right now. So I'm thinking like vintage photo distress rather than coffee, right? Just same idea. And these two colors. And look at how perfectly they blend in with everything going on here. I might even bring in a little bit of green or something like that. But I will do all of that with you on my next episode. Thanks for watching. See you soon.